All right. We are officially live.
Oh,
So, Mr. Sigmuno, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Sigmuno.
Yeah. You know, there's days where it's interchangeable.
I mean, I guess so. What is that?
Androgynous.
Androgynous. I mean, come on, I can't even say misery. Yeah, that one. That or Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah, that one. Hey, I mean, everybody knew what I was talking about, so it is what it is.
What about Mississippi?
Oh, I can say Mississippi. But Massachusetts and Missouri, like, I figured out how I can say them to where people understand what I'm saying. I mean, in all honesty, when you say it like that, people aren't thinking like, oh, did he just say it? They just hear
Connecticut?
Connecticut? Yeah. Connecticut. I'm not like your daughter with spaghetti.
Not this one, the other one. The other one that can't say spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Right, like your daughter with spaghetti. So I just wanted to have just talk. A regular conversation.
Can we talk for a minute?
I just want to know your name. I'm not doing that. Everybody's not gifted like you, okay? Uncle Sam! Yeah! Nah, that was my dad, the bounty hunter, right? Yeah. So yes, I am bringing y'all into the life and times of the family, Indie family. Everything you need is in the family. We're gonna get that up and running soon. But with it, I like to have real conversations, and with that, I have conversations with my kids, with my wife, and with her parents as well. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all should feel privileged for us to allow y'all to sit in on this. What's it saying over there? Matter of fact, hold on, let me do it like this. Let me switch it up. Oh, I can see.
I can see clearly now.
You're like me. You have a song for everything. So with that, I am doing interactive. So anybody who wants, first of all, can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat for me real quick. How you doing, Bray? Or Bray? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me? Hi. How you doing? Can you hear me? Bray is in the live. See, I need to find out how to transfer from there. I think the only way for me to transfer it over here is to actually open Bray, can you hear me? Yeah, I see he says hi, but I need to know if he can hear it. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it over here as well. Which I'm like, in all honesty, this might just be what I need to do. Bray, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Am I gonna use troubleshoot? Uh-oh. Oh, I know what I can do. Hold on, man. I got you. It's okay.
Yeah, you don't need any louder. You're all good.
No, I don't want to hear it. Oh, that's right. There we go. Do that. Can you hear me? Fine. All right. Bray, can you hear me? Anybody was in there? Can you hear? Jay, how you doing? So, Mr. Sigmuno, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Growing up, what was the way that you were brought up? How did it play? What part did it play to who you are currently? You know,
What part of that? I mean, I guess pretty much all of it. And yeah, it was pretty rough. There's a lot of education involved, but there's a lot of trauma. And I think the trauma started when I became a teenager. I think that's why it was so jarring. But most of it, the good and the bad, played a lot into who I am right now and where I'm at, because it kind of drives you to become something. There's no laying down. There's no going backwards. There's only when you fall, you have to get up and keep going. And whatever plan you have to recognize when it's going the wrong way so you can make the corrections or revamp your plan. So the majority of
you talk louder than
the majority of things that happen in my life. I mean, bad choices were that was the school of hard knocks. Bad choices, living by choices that you make, learning while you're living, understanding the rules of life, understanding the rules of the streets, understanding what your limitations are, understanding how to work and understand and live with people. There's a point in time to where you know enough to where you can navigate and begin to build a life that's actually going to stick. Because when you're running and you're doing things as you're younger, you don't think about the foundation piece. You're just going and you're working to live, and that's pretty much all. But yeah, a lot of what's happened, good and the bad. Things that people say, the way you're supported, the things that you weren't supported in, all that plays a huge part in how I exist now. Pretty much.
So obviously, this is like my first time having children. When it comes to children, oh gosh, Ma, keep yourself over there. When it comes to having children, based off of how you were raised, is there anything that you feel is necessary to teach them according to how you were brought up? I ask because obviously I have small crotch memories. And with that, I'm like, there's no blueprint or anything on how to raise children. I'm like, you're much older than me, you have children as well. Like, what can you?
The blueprint is the life you live, and then making and allowing it to be a decision, not just something that just happened. When it's something that just happened, you're learning on the cuff like everybody else does. When it's just something that happens, if it's a plan, then you have a better shot, because then there are people around you that can support you in helping with the upbringing or understanding who they are at the age that they are and growing up progressively. But you'll learn as you go along, because I guess the biggest key is understanding that DNA
That's
It's
the
not,
right
it's, you gotta really look at yourself, because whatever you're seeing in them is part of you.
And I realize that because I mean, just having my kids around, like my son, he does a lot of things where sometimes he'll do something, and before he actually does it, I tell him to stop because the fact that I recognize myself in it, and I'm like, okay, he's about to do this and this because that's something I would do. So I realized it right then and there, and I mean, having children is a big self-reflection of yourself. Or obviously, I just double said that, but having children is a big self-reflection due to the fact that you really can see yourself in the things that they do.
And sometimes you gotta let them fall. Sometimes you
Don't let
try
them
to come
crash
up to
and
the edge, but say it enough to where they know that I said this, I said it again, I said it again. So this next time when you go at it, you understand that I've said this, and when you fall, or if you fall, or if you hit your head, or something goes wrong, then you know what? It's not because I didn't tell you, it's because you weren't paying attention. So that's a lesson for them.
Yes.
Someone said it, so now it's time for me to pay attention this time, because I don't want it to hurt like it did last time. Yeah.
Oh, it's playing the game? Yeah. Okay. So with that right there, I'm live on a couple different things, and with that, that's one of the notifications. So with it, you may end up hearing some noises going on as we are having our conversation. That's mainly because of the fact that there's going to be other individuals jumping in. Now, with it, I opened it up on TikTok to allow people to speak as well. Right. Now, one thing that I love about that is the fact that anybody can sit here and jump in. We can have a conversation with multiple different individuals all around the world.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm going to actually start sharing it with my people as well. So I'm about to have individuals from Australia and around the world jumping in to actually talk also.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you know the vibe. You know the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So Zachariah, I have a question for you now. We're gonna have a conversation as well. Mommy and daddy, we asked you this question earlier. How does it make you feel when mommy and daddy hug and kiss in front of you? Same? Yeah. What do you mean same? You want to throw up? Why do you want to throw up? Why do you want to throw up?
Because it's weird when you kiss each other when boys and girls kiss.
Oh, what? Like explain your thought process.
You kiss like every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kiss when we're not watching. Sometimes you kiss when we're all.
So if you're not watching, how do you know that we're kissing?
Because you always kiss.
Babe, come here.
No!
I need it. Oh, really? You gonna lick me up? Okay. Remember. You did. It was like all on the side of my face, like from the top of my cheekbone down to the bottom of my lip. Worse than a dog. At least it's not. Dog's mouth is is your mother awake? I'm not sure if your mother is awake. Is your mother awake? That's a pretty good question. Who's your mother? Who is that? Who is that? Yes? Yes? Who is that? Lisa? Oh, okay. Oh gosh. Hey, Mom, slide your head into the camera. Oh, she can't? Where's she at? Oh. Mom! Is that right? So yes, we're doing a family episode today. We're just having a conversation, just talking, and bringing the children into it at the same time while also talking to y'all. I try and have intellectual conversations with my children because of the fact that that's the only way that, one, it builds the social skills, and two, it allows them to actually go into the world and have real conversations and also to build knowledge, to think about things differently.
And to learn things.
Yes, and to learn things, to have that critical thinking. Because I mean, if they're just in school, just memorizing things the way that the curriculum is currently, yeah, they'll be a master at memorizing things, but they're not going to be able to think for themselves. What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Sigmaluno? Mrs. Sigmaluno?
Well,
Where is Mrs. Sigmund? She's like a shadow. You can't even see it. Where's she at? Oh, okay. She literally is not there. Gotcha.
so intellectually speaking,
Hey, I appreciate gifts, but I really don't want them. It's honestly just your communication that I seek, all right? So, blessings. Oh no, who sent the rose?
wow,
Okay, no.
wow.
Hey, gifts are cool and everything. Let's chill the gifts just for this podcast, all right? I it's down on many different gifts. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yo, blessings, Hixie. Hey, Hixie, I'm not sure if you did your introduction. I have an introduction. I had an intro for you when you came in. It didn't play though. Aww. But yeah, Hixie. So I'm just you got your radio station. I love that. I saw your video the other day. I think it was yesterday or even today. All my days run together. Say hi to Hixie. Say hi, Hixie.
Hi, Izzy.
But yes, Mr. Sigmalino.
So you were asking about intellectually speaking with children.
Yes.
It's the only way they learn the language, whatever language you're speaking in. So I mean, to draw back and speak the Gaga Goo is not teaching them. It's only it's
I'm sure he loves it.
it only holds them back when you don't speak to them
I
in
agree.
language.
I agree. Zachariah, how does it feel when mommy and daddy talk to you? We can't hear you. Your hands are moving. It says what? Exhausting?
Yeah.
Oh, you get overstimulated? That's how daddy feels when it's like you talk all the time or when someone's over there like physically touching mommy. I don't know. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Why don't you just stay on and talk to us? Tell her to stay on and talk to us. She's a Brad. She's doing the most. I know, like, when we were on the West Coast, there was...
The real big G yelled, I won't be on too long. Father's Day here and the kids, and I'm going to see my dad soon.
What is Father's Day? Father's Day is in June, isn't it? So in Australia, is Father's Day in August? The 31st. What's up, Sadara? How you doing? When we were on the West Coast, me and Jade, we went in to go. Wait. Yeah, yes, it is June for us. Yeah, that's why I was confused because it's August right now. When we were on the West Coast, me and my wife, we went in to go do something with our car. That part right there. Wow. Well, happy Father's Day. I don't know if you have any kids or even if you don't think you do, if you have something that you don't know about, happy Father's Day. Do you have any babies? I mean, those are still kids. That's like tadpoles when they turn to frogs. A word? Okay, Labor Day is tomorrow. I still got like a couple more hours until then. Ooh, holiday, babe. But so, bruh, with it, when we were on the West Coast, me and my wife, we were going to do some stuff with our vehicles, and we had our kids with us, and the people who were behind the desk were like, yo, your kids speak so well. And at that time, like, my son was like, maybe like 3. No, he was, what, 4? Wait, was he like 4 at that time? He was like 3, turning 4, and our daughter was like 2. And the fact that they were not speaking like that baby talk, and everybody was like, yo, they speak so well, and we were like, yo, thank you so much. We talk to them like they're real people. We don't sit there and be, hey, Zachariah, how are you doing today? Like, exactly. Like, you see how they did? Yeah, dad's for the win, for real. So when it comes down to raising your children, matter of fact, I know next week I'm going to be covering a topic called, hold on, I had a brain fart. I had a straight brain. It is called husband material. Why you husband? What is husband material? And I'm gonna have next week. It's gonna be the men speaking first, and then I'm gonna have the women speak the next week. because I ultimately want to understand like what is husband material. Which I was actually in a podcast, not a podcast, but I was in a live stream that I call her the real half-ass or totally half-ass, aka totally Hafsa, who's in here right now.
Mhm.
She actually was in a stream where the topic was what is help me totally Hafsa. Father, was it father material? What was it? What was the topic? What was the topic? Totally Hafsa. What is a father? What's a good dad? There we go. What is a good father? That's what it was. What is a good father? So I ask you this question right now, Mr. Sigmund. What is a good father?
Those type of questions are controversial for me because everyone has an idea of what that is.
Yes.
So
But to you, what is a good father?
For me, I would rather not because that's taking my thoughts and imposing it on someone else. If you have an agreement with the person that you're with and you have children and there's an outline.
Much love and appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by.
And if there's an outline you guys discuss and a plan of how you guys are raising your children or living the life that you're living, let that be defined in your relationship. Because someone outside of, I mean, there are images. Don't get me wrong. There are images of good of.
That wasn't the question.
Yo, share a lot. I want to have other people's opinions and also talk with some individuals.
The question was, what is it?
What
is an idea of a good
man? I
man?
would love to talk with more people.
My idea of a good man.
Much love and appreciate it.
Pause. What was the question?
What is a good father?
There you go.
Again,
No,
you cannot. You can't force anyone.
I mean, but
to give it. I mean,
we're asking your opinion. What is a good father?
I'd rather not do that because this is the beginning of pressure for people. You see what I'm saying?
it's not about pressure.
It is.
Okay, all right. Let me ask this.
Can I answer the question?
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
we're
So
doing.
let me answer the question.
I'm gonna re-ask the question. I'm gonna rephrase the question. You being a father, you parenting children, what makes you feel that you're being a good father?
That is, see again, there are so many variables in raising children or being who you are. There is, for me to say, there are specific things, or for me to blow my own horn and say, I'm a good father in this aspect, leads to be an argument for my children and for the people that are in my life. So if I've made any mistakes and done anything wrong, then I'm speaking on something that only suits for me. So I can blow my horn and say, hey, I'm a great person. I'm a wonderful person. I do this and that right. I'm a good father. I love and hug on my children, but that could be completely unrealistic to the people around me.
But that's the thing, though. You're thinking so much about everybody else. I'm asking you, what do you think a good father is? Not how are you raising your children, or but what is a good father? Like,
are you guys aren't really understanding what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's answering the question.
But it won't
because
answer.
I understand everybody has their own idea of what a good father is. I'm asking you, what is your idea of what a good father is?
But
not whatever, not according to what children think or other children, what your children, my children, what you think a good father is. Like if you were a child once.
I was a child once.
If you looked and you were like, you know what, that's a good dad. What is your idea of a good father?
When we were talking about earlier, the things that
earlier
when you were talking about the things that the way that I grew up and how it determined who I am now. This is those type of things. In order for, if someone says this is good, if you tasted the fruit and you say it's good, then that's good for you.
Yes.
I like apples, but I don't like the smushy apples. I like the Fuji apples. You see what I'm saying? So if we're saying that in that aspect,
so we all come from different places, and I'm asking specifically what a good father to you meant. I mean, for
But this is the
example,
problem.
if I sit here,
Answer.
I can sit here and be like,
But see,
you know
these
what?
are,
Hold on,
But
hold
you-
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
but everyone's saying that what everyone's suggesting what I should say,
No,
which is irrelevant
We're asking
because
you what it means to you. You're telling us whatever the other people may think. So
I'm
you
not-
don't wanna, you don't want to put an opinion out there.
I'm not saying what other people think. I'm saying what I think.
correct.
But you
I
don't say
think
anything.
this because because I know what it does to people when you add pressure.
We're
Okay,
not trying to.
I
add
don't
pressure.
mind adding
Because
pressure.
check this out. Check this out. If everybody was sitting here and I asked this question, everybody remains silent, then nobody has an idea of what a father figure even looks like.
But why-
Because nobody's saying
But why
anything.
should anyone have an opinion in the
So how
life?
is anybody going to learn how to be a man?
The person that like you living with your son,
Mhm.
whatever design you guys have on how that child is supposed to be raised, and whoever you have in their life
Okay.
to
let
help
me-
raise them, then that is
then let me
that's
ask you-
how it
Let me
works.
ask you this question. How would you want your children to go about in the world? No.
And again,
Bruh.
there's DNA on both ends, so the expectation that it'll happen the way I want it to,
Yes.
and the way that they live is two different things.
I
I want them to be
understand
the best person that they can possibly be.
that. Yes.
That's
But
exactly
would you
what I
want
want.
instilled in them at least?
What I instill in them are the things that we talked about earlier: the respect for people.
I swear, you
Respect-
and mom, y'all are so deflective.
No,
like,
it's not
ridiculous.
deflective. It's not reflective. This
That's
is
what it
age.
is.
This is age. Age says, for me,
Shut up and don't say anything.
no,
but
the
say
age
nothing.
says for me is let people live.
Yeah,
because
you can let them live.
I can tell you right now, if I pick a person right now, let me say this: if I pick a person right now and say that's a good person, if tomorrow we find out he's a child molester, then my opinion about him is incorrect, right?
But everybody is allowed to have their opinion. Now, based on the
But-
thing is you don't know a person all the way. You're going off of what you see and what you know.
But
Okay,
you
time.
can't. Go ahead. Yeah,
Wow, do you remember when you said that once a child reaches the age of 5, then you have instilled in them the thing that's
7.
going to carry
Seven,
Seven.
age of 7.
Okay, 7.
Mhm.
Therefore, once they reach the age of 7, the things that are instilled in them is what's going to be with them for life.
Mm-hmm.
What types of things should be instilled in the children by that age, do you think?
Honesty, loyalty, persistence,
Consistency.
consistency.
Okay.
The list goes on, but we're gonna try to be broad with it. A work ethic,
Mm.
ownership,
Y'all can interact as well anytime. If you have anything to say, y'all can go ahead and say it as well.
ownership, creativity, freedoms, parameters, rules, consequence, reward. All of these things are things that they should know at that point.
Okay. Now, with that, how can those things get instilled into the children?
From the parents, from the
Yes.
grandparents, from the people that teach them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the basis. It's their environment. It's their village. Everyone in the village has something that they're teaching that individual child.
So I was at a pool party earlier today with my children, and there was another family who was there. The man, I had a conversation with him, and we had a conversation. We were talking about how there is a lack of that community, that village, to where it's like the things that children are being taught is more. A lot of those things are coming from outside the household, outside of that village community, if there is even one.
Because
How would you?
the village is almost non-existent.
See, I didn't want to say it.
It is. It's almost non-existent. And again, this is from me growing up. This is from
Yes.
what I've watched. This is from things around me. The people that you would think. Let me tell you where my perspective comes from.
Mhm.
My father passed. In this situation, you would think the men around them would rally around the children and the mother, right? And the women in the family, right? That did not happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what someone says is a good man standing in front of me, like if I'm there in the middle of my family and they say they're giving this honor to my Uncle Donald, that he was a great man and this and that and the other things. His brother fell. He didn't reach out to his children at all. He didn't reach out to his family at all. He did nothing. So in my eyes, what kind of man does that? What kind of man allows their brother's family to fall?
Yes. And
So
I'm understanding what you're talking about now when you're like, I don't want to give my opinion.
No, I don't.
Because
Because again, for me to say, hey, this is a good person,
yes.
again, I'm nobody to judge.
Anybody may seem like a good person when you first meet them.
When you first meet them
Yes.
and you
And you start to learn more and more, you're like,
yeah,
So-
this is a mistake. And again, not to judge, but it's
Yeah.
all a determination on whether you want to hang with that person or that person be in your circle or not.
Well, I mean, that kind of comes down to a judgment too, because you have to make that choice, which is a judgment on their character and who you are as well, on if that's even someone you want to have in your life. So you're judging them regardless.
So and then that forfeits the idea that the Bible says, judging not lest you be judged.
Okay.
By the same measure that you judge.
You casting
Right?
stones over
I'm
here?
casting stones. I'm
Don't
not
cast
saying
stones.
I haven't sinned, but you know what? For every sin that I have the right for a goddamn help.
Exactly.
So
Okay,
with
so-
that, it's like, I've sinned, boom, you have too. We all have sinned. We were born
Right,
into
We have
sin.
all
Was
sinned
your
and fallen
mother and
short.
your father
Got
married?
that.
I guarantee you, your father was probably dating some other chick when he was smashing your mom. So I guarantee you, when he was born, the
See,
name that he did was probably.
That proves a point and not proves a point at the same time. Because you've got to look at what we had even on the outside.
Yes.
We had the Cosbys, we had
Mhm.
All in the Family, we had all
Good
these
times.
good times. We had all these things
Yes.
that had these households,
Yeah. They got rid of those.
right? Well, no. See,
Now they got.
pause. They didn't get rid of them. They didn't get rid of them
Okay.
for everybody. They did not get rid of them for everybody.
They got rid of them for the future.
They had
generation.
Seventh Heaven. They had, what was that one that Michael J. Fox was in? They had a
Family
bunch.
Ties, whatever.
Family Ties. Okay, all of those great examples, right? For ours,
Yes.
oh, they obliterated ours.
Oh, yeah.
What is the world's opinion right now of Bill Cosby?
It's trash.
But see, the thing is, none of the stuff stuck, right? When it came to trashing him, they was all out here trashing him. But since he was vindicated, then nobody said, "Oh,
Which, by the way,
my bad." Nobody said, "Oh, my
yeah, exactly. Everybody looks at like melanated individuals as sketchy. But what I want to do real quick is I want to go ahead and just say, I'm gonna have to go ahead and drop a pause real quick, just because of the fact that when it comes down to Bill Cosby, I feel like they set him up. His house was on an oil field. With that, he refused
Correct.
to sell, so they set him up.
bad." Correct.
Now,
No, that's not the only
he was
reason
like
why.
Jerry
But
from
that's not the
Subway.
only reason
why.
No, Jerry deserves to get a 12 foot, but Bill Cosby does not. They set him up. It was many, many years later where they came through and all these Caucasians, people from the
Okay.
was like, hey, he did some stuff to me. Nah, that ain't the case, man.
So I mean,
But
and
see,
he's not the only
That's
one.
not the only thing that happened. He
Yeah.
wanted to buy NBC.
Mm-hmm.
He forcefully wanted to buy NBC.
Well, wait, guys, I have lost the accusations and the convictions. They're true.
Well, it just depends.
No. The Bill Cosby situation, his house was on an oil field. And with that, he refused to sell his house. So the government ended up setting him up. So that way, they ended up causing him to go into financial turmoil to where he had to go ahead and get rid of all his assets. A house is considered an asset. There's many things that are assets. You have assets and liabilities. I'm not going to go into all this because I'm not taking no classes. But with it, therefore, all the legal fees that he came across with them, all these accusations, that caused him to end up having to sell his house. Which, when he ended up doing that, that allowed them to drill on the land that he had his house on to actually access that oil field. So, I mean, that was something way above him. It's kind of like with the Prince and the Michael Jackson. Look into that stuff. There's conspiracies behind all that, but I'm not going to get into it.
But it's all
rolling
image.
forward.
House yelled out, "Sorry, y'all, I am Canadian, and white PPL raised I am still catching up."
It's okay. Enjoy your bacon. Enjoy your Canadian bacon, okay?
That's so terrible. But I mean, again,
Well, big up to you.
So yeah,
that's.
Definition of half-ass.
I mean, but that's.
I know that's my running joke with her. That's my running joke with her.
wow.
But that's the. There's so much disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's a design. I mean, and we could just talk all day about systemic racism, all day about unfair this, unfair that, but at the end of the day, every individual is responsible for themselves. And for the most part, I learned that I have to live within my limits. I've done some stupid stuff
We all
in the
have.
name of survival, right? But the world doesn't see it that way. If right is right and wrong is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So can I call
And that's
myself?
crazy because even when it comes down to like the universal laws, there is no good or bad. It's all
No,
good.
and thank you very much. That you just made my point. If I say wrong and right, then I'm giving an answer to either one. Everyone has wrong in them, everyone has right in them. So for me to sit and say this is a good person, I cannot do that because the law says there's good and bad in either one of us. The idea is to respect the person for who they are, respect the person for the life they lived. You keep walking your direction, to keep walking mine. If we interact and we do business or we have a conversation, then we keep living. Otherwise, to come up and depict one particular image
Yeah.
and say this is what a good man is and a standard that every man should build their opinion, their life on, you can't
That's kind of
because
like religion.
behind that is a person that probably had to do some messed up stuff to take care of his family, messed up stuff for himself to survive, messed up stuff to feed his folks or to feed himself. All of that is there. So I cannot say this is the image of a great person or a good man, and this is what he should look like. Thank you very much. That's it. That's my premise.
I understand that completely. I understand that.
Right.
But I mean, like starting off, like all the dialogue was not there. So it was
Right,
like,
right.
I was like, to you, and you're like, I can't say that.
Right.
Yeah, you know? But I mean, as
Yeah.
the conversation continues to go, yes, I understand. I completely understand that.
Yeah.
There is context to your response.
Right.
But still. I mean, like, we're talking a lot. Mr. Sigma Malone, she stated like certain things that should be instilled in children.
Yeah.
And things that she said, I feel like it takes both parents to instill those things.
It does.
There are some things that they'll pick up based off their environment. There's a lot of more, in this day and age, there's more negative things they'll pick up in their environment due to the television, tell a lie, due to the fact that they'll be around other individuals who rather emulate two girls, one cup type stuff. Or either individuals who are cursing at the age of 5. Like their first word could have been something that was, I'm not going there, okay? I'm not going there. You can put your finger down. I'm not going there.
In their defense,
Oh, you're defending me?
I am.
It's usually though,
Because I had cursing prophet.
You have a cursing prophet?
Oh yeah, she's been cursing from the beginning of days.
All right, turn the motherfucking Bibles to Psalms 24.
No.
How? It's
Her first wonderful phrase
Yes.
was "damn it to hell."
Jesus, bro, you made it seem like it was something bad.
Oh no.
Hell is a place.
She said, "Damned is a condition, hell is a destination."
Yeah.
Okay, mind you, when the school called,
She said when the school called.
They
Tell
didn't
me
tell
more,
me.
tell me more.
They didn't tell me what she said.
Yes.
I had an idea because that was kind of her thing at the moment. And a rule in our house is if you couldn't spell it and you didn't know the definition of it, you couldn't use it.
Yes.
So
She found a way
she
around.
found a way around it.
That's critical thinking, right? That's right.
She found a way around it.
What the Rockefellers don't want us to do is think.
No, they
Just
don't
in
want us to
general.
live a general life.
So when I'm sitting here in the office waiting for this, so I'm sitting in the office waiting for this apocalyptic phrase to come out, and she said it, and she said I told her what it meant. I was like, okay, and I said, what was her response? She said, I said, hell is a destination, damned is a condition.
Yes.
I'm looking at the principal like,
Is that true?
is she wrong?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, did she like say?
What is he
I mean,
saying?
even in whatever she was working on, she couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
So she's erasing, redoing. She's getting frustrated, and she said,
That's one of those things like right to do. Pyramid is not. Harold was like, actually, he is my son.
Well, Zacharias is cheese and bacon or cheese and bread,
That's me.
Oh,
Guilty.
fine.
Guilty.
right? I'm like, or flying monkey,
What the flying?
That's I say that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
right?
I'll
So
take ownership of that accountability.
again, that's partially
Oh,
my
that's a
fault.
banana.
However, again, with definition, you have to give it context.
Yes.
So is it wrong? No. She's not up there telling her where to go.
Yeah.
She could, by definition, and not be wrong still. Again,
But
context,
but to
and
who?
respect.
For any children who are watching this,
Respect.
But to who?
read the dictionary. Dictionaries are amazing.
Oh.
And then when you get into it, you start learning the
They'll give you a
synonyms and
plethora.
antonyms and
Oh,
learn how
a
to use the words.
thesaurus.
Oh,
A
thesauruses? Yes.
thesaurus.
The stories are crazy. So we need to bring reading back. We need to bring reading back. There's a lot more individuals who rather be on Fortnite and Call of Duty. I'm like, yo, go back into reading to a book. That right there will build your imagination. And when you can start like actually illustrating like stories and talking about, sorry, correction, narrate, because illustrating is like drawing, right?
Yes.
Yes, there we go. Narrating the stories and everything to actually be able to speak clearly to where the things that you're saying, people can see it in their minds. I mean, I do a story time with my kids, and with that, we close our eyes and we literally build from everything starts at black, and you start building. So it's like in our minds, and you can think of it like Minecraft if you want to, or watch whatever. But I'm like, we are starting to build a full story based off our words, describing the things that we see, what we smell, how it feels, all of that, going into all the senses. Definitely look into that. It right there, as you build your vocabulary, you'll be able to articulate.
Call it the
exactly
Cat
things
William
that are
curse
going
out.
on. The what?
Cat William curse out.
The Cat William curse
Use
out?
words, use all the synonyms of the words that people normally use.
Mhm.
Instead of the words, use the synonyms. Make them look that bad boy up. You won't know if you got cursed out, praised, rejected, dejected.
That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. You sitting there like, I don't know what you said, but it sounds nice though. And you know, Cat Williams got that check. Yeah, I feel like that's what he was doing in all those podcasts. He was talking mad stuff to them, so they're like, yeah. And later on, they're like, this
A
motherfucker.
video that actually defined the words that he used.
Is it a second one?
There was like a 15-minute video of just definitions.
Cat Williams did say that when he was growing up, he would literally be sitting there for like 4 or 6 hours just reading the dictionary and other books.
Reading
Like,
is fundamental.
yeah, I mean, yes, it is. Good, sit down.
I wanted to talk to you.
You want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Oh, this is never gonna end.
Oh boy.
I know, right? At the pool, she was talking to one of the older ladies who got like, who was a grandma, and she was like, she came up to me and Naya and was like, yo, your daughter is so smart. She is so smart. Like, how old is she?
You're not old enough to know commas, periods. She knows exclamation points though.
Yeah, she will sit there and talk your ear off, and it makes sense. That's the thing that gets me. Like, she'll sit there, yes, baby girl.
I said I wanted to talk with you.
And we are talking now. What do you want to talk about? Why do you point with your middle finger?
My bad.
Cheese and bread. Grandma. Nah. Cause she's sitting there, she's like, why are you? And she's like, Daddy, I'm like, oh, that's how you feel. Like,
My bad.
your brother does knife hands, you do middle fingers. We gotta work on that, okay? That's when you use words. Okay,
The
anyway.
excitement of it all.
Facts are facts. What are we talking about? We got lost.
Reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. You gonna start reading?
Actually,
baby girl?
reading is sucks.
Your brother's learning to read.
The reading sucks.
Not wait until you can read real stuff.
Yeah, when you start reading real things and you actually start using your imagination with things that you're reading, trust me, it becomes a lot of fun, Bubba. And that way you're not gonna be stuck on a phone all the time.
That's you guys. Then you
Oh, that's
stop
good.
it.
How do you counter that? How do you counter that? Okay, well, everybody in the chat, we want to talk about unicorns. Did y'all know that in the Bible, when they mention when they reference unicorns, they're actually talking about rhinos?
Okay, that's fine. Rhinos have horns.
Yes, some rhinos have horns. So with it, you actually had rhinos that had single horn and rhinos that had double horn. However, the ones with the single horns are actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's
Because rhinos have a lot of horns.
baby girl, hold on, you're messing up my vocabulary. I'm starting to like list like you. They're extinct now.
You know, sure.
The uniform. Oh my gosh, the rhinos that are there now have like a full horn and like a semi horn now. But when they reference unicorns, they were actually talking about rhinoceros.
I didn't know that.
It's crazy. Everybody was thinking like, oh, they had mystical little horses with a horn and wings flying around in the Bible. I was like, that don't even sound right. Like, why didn't Jesus just get reincarnated and fly up to heaven in a unicorn then? There's a rainbow flying behind him and a kitty going,
He wasn't right.
I mean, that's part of the wine. I guarantee he at least rode like 6 of those out.
Dude.
Oh, Africa.
Considering the location.
Yes.
We're talking to girls. So what? The rhinos?
Yeah.
Rhinoceros.
A
A rhinoceros. A rhinoceros is a unit. That's the original definition. Yeah, beautiful eyes. You know that?
Yeah, okay.
See how I did that? So I love you too, baby girl. Kisses.
No.
Really?
Oh, good.
He said no.
No.
Yes, mommy and daddy.
No. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Ooh. Perfect timing. 80%. Emotional daddy.
No, we're not doing that.
Good timing, good timing.
Thank
Yes,
you.
mommy is a woman. Daddy helped turn her into a woman. Oh, I am so gonna get that later.
She was a lady long.
Daddy, it still gets me when y'all call me babe. Like, can y'all just call me dad? Really? 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 Yes, baby girl.
What's up, babe?
Thank you for what? Ma.
I just looked away.
I was just like, ooh, the comments from her.
It's getting ready to go all the way live.
Yeah. We're shooting at mommy and making me like, whoa. I love you too, baby girl.
Oh,
You
wow.
are amazing. You know that?
Yes.
Of course.
Don't let her get you. Don't let her get you.
I'm not.
Look away. Look away.
I know, right? Ouch. Okay. I mean, how dark do you want to be?
Dark enough so no one can see you.
Ouch.
There's a crazy girl.
Dark enough where nobody can see you.
The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Hey, exactly right. You play Manhunt with me at midnight?
Sure.
All right. You ain't gonna find me. Just let me know.
Oh my goodness. You ain't right.
What is Manhunt? Manhunt is when you run around and you all it's tag at night. Yes, baby girl. Yeah, sure. I'm out to put like a little collar on you that lights up though. So that way we can find her. So that way we can pedophiles are out there and try to sign her up.
Cut it out.
Look, this is 2024. You see what's happening. Yes,
We had the same things back then. They were just
You want to pick one? No, it only flashes white.
This wasn't online.
yeah,
How
just
you
one
doing,
on one.
Marlo?
Here's water. Daddy?
I need you to hit the thing on there. What does it say? There, do what you gotta do.
That's water.
No, nothing.
That's water.
Ooh, it's Eduardo.
It's
Oh, it's
water.
not doing anything?
Oh.
There's no puzzle piece?
Oh, there.
Oh, is there? All right, cool. I was about to say, I was like,
Oh no.
so Mr. Sigma, no.
Huh?
So I'm sure at one point you probably were like, I'm probably not having grandchildren. Now that you have grandchildren, what does that feel like?
Oh, I knew I was having grandchildren.
It's not coming.
I knew I was.
That was a question for Mr. Signal, not you, Mr. Signal. So control your facial expressions, okay? I can see you. I can see you.
So
Hold on, baby girl.
I knew I was having grandchildren.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if they were actually going to be my actual biological grandchildren.
Oh, okay, got you.
Right?
Oh, man, smack my hand.
So which one?
I'm saying. If I
owe you both one. Why are you trying to get some cash?
yeah.
So I knew I was going to have grandchildren. I just didn't know if they were going to biologically be related to me. And for me, it didn't matter one way or the other. They were all getting treated the same or the other. It didn't really matter. So what was the follow-up question to that, sir? What was the follow-up question to that?
It wasn't a question. I had a statement, but I can't say that. I wasn't going to get kicked out.
See?
Kicked out of the home.
Mm-hmm.
And when we sleep on the couch and be like, you know what, sleep at work.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you don't want to do that. Then you got gas. I'm sure this seat smells.
Oh boy.
So it's stay.
So are you.
I know you do. Your food cheeks was flapping the other day.
I know, there's no food, there's no spoon in here.
So with it, follow-on question to that. What would you say are the perks of being a grandmother? Besides just giving them back.
I don't know about giving them back. Sometimes you guys mess up stuff that I set up perfectly.
What? Oh, hold on, I need to hear this.
I can get these kids to do something, no problem. I send them home. You guys give them back. I ask them to do the same thing again, and it's like starting completely over.
And so is that the importance of communication?
Not necessarily, because the reality of the situation is if I want them to do that, I'm going to have to continue to start over, right? Ultimately, they'll either get it or they won't get it.
But if it's something that's being practiced, where if you inform the parents as well, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Or, for example, if we were to inform you, like, hey, this is what I've been working on with the children, can you continue that, or you take it a step further, and then therefore the communication when we're picking up or whatever, it's like, this is what I've done. This is what the next step is that I want to do, work on that with them. Like, would
yes
that be a
and no.
continuous skill?
It would be, but yes and no. They also need to learn that certain things are done a certain way, depending upon where they are. There's things they can do at home that's perfectly fine. There's things they can do at Toodle's house that's perfectly fine. And none of those things are acceptable at school.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I can teach them how to set a formal dining table, right? The probability of them coming over here to have a formal dinner set is nil.
Yeah,
at Toodle's house, oh yeah, that's happening. Formal tea, that's happening, right? They don't have to worry about that at home. Now, if she wants to sit here with her little table and her dolls, and she wants to set up a formal tea for her dolls, by all means, she can do that. She'll be perfectly capable, right? Sure, dolls. So the rollover effect, there are some things that are going to roll over, right? There's some things I would love to help them with. But I can honestly tell you, sign language, great. Spanish, great. That Japanese and Korean, y'all gonna have to keep that over here because I can't do it.
Oh, you know, like 16 languages. I don't even know 16 continents.
But I'm.
That's fine. When it ends, just
I am grandma. The things that I'm supposed to be learning now is how to win at bingo.
Seriously? Have you learned how to take your dentures out yet? Because I think you learned that before you learned how to win at bingo.
No.
I mean, there's a bingo spot like up the road. I can take you there.
See, I'm not quite there yet.
It's musical bingo. It's actually pretty dope. Like I go there just to listen to
He's
music
trying
for
to
like a full 5 seconds.
He's trying to drop you tools off the musical.
No, I'm gonna be there with you. I'm not dropping you off. We just sit there together. I'll be singing the songs. Sometimes he be hearing me singing. He keep the song going. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, so your daddy has been playing musical bingo.
Guilty. And what? Dad.
That's probably why my spirit won't let me go. But I just, yes, baby, come on.
You're taking all the kids, huh? Baby girl, if you're gonna whisper like it looks like whisper cute, you're doing like a demonic little whisper.
Yes.
Like,
So yeah, I mean, they've got to learn how to compartmentalize some things.
mhm.
Because the reality of it is today's society that's not giving the skills that they actually really need to build to be effective human beings,
Facts.
period.
That is
But
so true.
there are certain aspects of being an effective human being that's just no longer socially acceptable, like actually having conversations with people.
Everything now is texting. Like you have conversations with like straight acronyms
That's
rather
right.
than the actual
Not
talking.
wrong. I will watch it with.
What?
See, and I'm cool. If I didn't answer the phone, don't send me a text message, especially if it's an emergency and you want me to know now. You better send me a voicemail. Because I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it. I don't get notice. See, here's the thing. These
I
smart,
mean, your phone is like do not disturb like a good 16 hours of the day.
that is a true statement. It's for me, for whatever reason, this new technology, my phone will not ring until it hears my voice for the first time of the day. It doesn't have to have the do not disturb on, which I thought was weird, but I just noticed it the other day. The do not disturb is not on, but as long as I don't touch it, it doesn't hear my voice.
Yeah.
It will not notify me of anything
Huh.
without the do not disturb on.
So I guess I talk too damn much.
So I literally said nothing, especially this morning, because I tested it this morning.
Yeah.
Said absolutely nothing until Mr. asked me a question, and I was trying not to, I was doing my best
You don't want to be
mind,
rude though.
sign
You was
language,
like,
right? The second I said what I said, notification started. Yes, I was
down.
forced to the thumbprint for security. Yeah, no. I was like, oh
Tell me
well.
that the CIA is listening without telling me CIA is listening.
I was like, oh well, there goes peace, because I like to send stuff and people like to send me memes and forward things, and it seems like everything that was supposedly forwarded from probably 9 o'clock last night
Mhm.
all the way to 11 o'clock this morning all came through at once.
So I was watching something the other day, and the lady, now, stick with me on this one, all right?
Okay.
This one's really out there. The lady was like, yo, the times that we go to sleep, what if that is really just someone else or some type of character taking over our body? You know how you have video games, you got like the Sims, and the Sims are sitting there playing video game, they think that they're real because they're playing video game. When it's all honesty, you're sitting here playing the game, having them play the game. And she was like, so what if like we're sitting here, we're like the Sims, we're doing all these things thinking that we're real when somebody else is really in control of our body. Like, what if we go to sleep and that's the time when the person logs off the game? So yeah, was it
Well, then obviously my person's been playing overtime lately because I have not been asleep.
And that's what I'm saying. So when you just said that, I was like, so what if in this simulation it didn't know if you were actually logged on or not until it heard your voice, therefore signifying that okay, this person's here, boom, the simulation has continued. Like, what if it was like that? Because if you think about it, we're all living our own reality. So the things that Mr. Sigmaluno was dealing with and living through, you're not dealing with that, and you're not going through it personally, in first person, you know? So it's just like, yo, what the world? Go ahead and hit live in. And then you also gotta hit the record at the top. So with it, I was also recording. So I'm gonna have to combine those two.
So yeah, it's plausible. It's plausible. Just like somebody sent me a
Like the movie
thing.
Avatar.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So somebody sent a whatever, a reel or something to my phone talking about what if God is water?
Yeah. Because they said in the beginning,
Because it's in us.
It's in all of us. It's
It's around us. It's over us. he's omnipresent.
Yes.
Water is omnipresent.
Water is everywhere.
No, not everywhere.
Where
It
is
is
there not
everywhere.
water? Where is water not located?
Yeah, sometimes water is kind of like somewhere else, like in the jungle.
There's water in the jungle.
There's water in the jungle. If
There's
there's
water
trees,
in
there's
you.
water.
Yep. You think about it, you're 8% water.
See, I don't either. See? So yeah. It's I don't know, it could be an alternate reality, but everybody lives in alternate reality because everybody perceives things differently.
I gotta go, baby girl. Let go of my hand. Cheese and bread.
That's where you got that from.
Yeah, I mentioned that already. That's my thing. Look, I've been trying not to cuss, okay? So with that, I'm not. I have sayings that I say to avoid cussing.
Well,
And it just happens that my kids pick it up. But I mean, you rather than run around and say other things?
no, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you that forewarning that you need to beef up your alternatives because my person prophet will be here for more than 30 days here in a few minutes. So
Okay, and with that, I expect you to be able to control your
my cursing prophet.
Yeah, your constant. Like, come on, I mean, it's your grandchildren. That's look, it's still your child, right? Still your child. Be like, hey, these are your nieces and nephews. Can you watch your mouth around them? I mean, I'm a Marine. She's a sailor. I'm doing pretty well on watching my mouth. She should watch her mouth as well. She can't just come back and be like, da 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 LGBTQ plus A B C D E F G H and like. Look, she's probably gonna be out hoeing for a good like 20 hours of the day. For the 4 hours that she's home, she can at least watch her mouth.
I beg your pardon.
Okay, maybe 18 hours of the day.
There will be no daily hoeing around.
It's not gonna be a daily thing. It's gonna be a ritual.
It's not going to be a ritual.
Oh, she asked you to repeat what you just said.
Oh,
I said it. I said you're gonna be out there doing your daily hoeing for at least 20 hours of the day. So for 4 hours while you're home, you at least watch your mouth and not cuss so the kids ain't picking it up.
well, we're not.
Why you got your face looking like that?
Well, we're not going to do for her leave is do this.
Yo,
This is what we're not
that
doing.
is so. Yo, that is your sister all the way. That's the same thing you make. That's the same thing you make. Like, oh, for real?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I did not know that she could look like Sid from freaking Ice Age.
Stop it.
How should her eyes look like that, though?
Oh, this brother does not want to sleep. He does not want to sleep. He does not talk about these
Hey,
girls.
I can talk mess on you for a minute, okay? Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you want to talk mess, you can come back you can get back on the podcast. We can do this. We have fun. But no, seriously, that right there is just something that I feel that she will actually. I feel that she will restrain herself better than she usually does. So I mean, she's still gonna be saying things, which I expect. I mean, I think it was probably like what 7 years after I got out of the Marine Corps, where I was just like, I do curse a lot. Like, so I mean, with her, I think there's gonna be times where I think when one of the children say the exact same thing she said, that's when it's gonna hit you like, oh dang, they are parents for real.
Okay.
And then she's probably gonna start thinking of things to say for having said. But when she slips a couple times, that's when she's gonna be like, oh snap. But I mean, other than that,
That's the one. That's the reason I have 4-legged grandchildren. She's the one. She's not. She was never built for
Yeah, but
little people.
so does you have
it's gonna give her a run for the money. She's gonna want to fight a child.
She's already established that. That has already been established. So
Because that's how I be feeling with him sometimes. I'm
It's-
like, bro,
it's
just
about to
turn
be-
12. Just turn 12 so I can sock you in the mouth.
it's about to be old school WWE, WWF,
That's
the
fine.
OG version.
I already realized that. I was like, she's gonna.
We're not talking about the
Yeah,
glow version either.
Yeah,
We ain't
not-
talking
not
about those
the-
sparkles and no.
Not the my hand.
We talking junkyard dog and Roddy Piper.
Babe, how's it go? Babe, how's it go? It will kill.
Yeah,
I mean, truth or no lie. But I think she would do
Is
well.
that you, Dad?
It's gonna be an eye opener for her. Because I mean, when you're actually around them and dealing with them, I feel like it's a different thing, you know? Soon and very soon, you are gonna reach
You're right. Well, no. She's been here since Azaria's been born.
Yeah, but
Because your
Azara
mom.
wasn't.
But I was only,
Yeah,
One.
at that time, Azara couldn't say anything. She was just
it
giving her
was
looks.
just a nonverbal.
Yeah, she was giving her looks.
The nonverbal
Now she can
argument.
actually say something, and this is gonna be bad. Like, so I'm more worried of the fact that Azara is gonna pick up the things that she says, and then she's gonna say those things to him, and then he's gonna feel the type of way. Because he's more the emotional one. She's the one who's just, she's got my backbone. Where it's like, okay, but did I lie? So,
See, the petty in that one is strong.
I mean, the petty in me is strong. Actual daughter. A lot of times I'm like, she's like, what? I was like, I can't say what I'm gonna say because I have to be the bigger person. As much as I'm like, I trust
See,
me.
That's a discussion that needs to be had. Right there. Why do we always have to be the bigger person?
Thank you. That part.
First, there's a number of reasons why.
Wait till I get there. Y'all gonna have a problem. That's fine.
It's
Your-
about what we got
look.
to exercise at this point.
Erica, your problem is gonna be the smallest one of us all. It's not gonna be me, just so you know. I'm not gonna be the problem. It's gonna be the smallest one. That's gonna be an issue right there. Okay.
Because sometimes
You probably missed what I just said. I was like, what? The only thing I'm worried about is you're
no.
all gonna have a conversation. She's gonna pick up the things that you say, and she's gonna be speaking those things back to her brother. Which therefore, then his feelings are gonna get hurt. She's like, but did I tell a lie? So, yeah. No, you can go. What were you saying about it?
Because they expect us to be the bigger person. They go all out,
Yeah,
right?
it's cool when they do it. It's bad when we do it. Yeah.
But see, one thing I learned about doing that bigger person thing
Yes.
is that the universe has a way of doing things that is way better than your
What's
imagination.
good, Possible? How you doing, boss?
Way better than your imagination.
Welcome to the live stream. The podcast goes on. Oh, yeah, the universe always comes back and it definitely deals it out to you. My issue though is how when I was talking to Mr. Signal earlier, and I was like, look, the universe doesn't recognize good or bad, it's all off energy. Now the thing that gets me is when you are being the bigger person, I feel like you have to understand when to be the bigger person, you know? Respect, blessings, king. I'm like, you have to understand when to be the bigger person, because I'm like, there's a lot of times, and I was having a discussion with your daughter earlier. I was like, some people just get walked over. What's up?
She said, wait till I get there, y'all.
I'm reading it right here, babe. She said, wait till I get there, y'all gonna have a problem. I'm reading it on the phone. So that way I can, just in case, like how it just did where it wasn't speaking. So I don't know. Oh, I know why. I didn't connect it. There we go. Because I forgot you reconnected the live. There we go. But yes, with it, I feel like you have to understand when to be the bigger person. You have to understand when to get your mouth shut. Because I was telling her, I was like, I feel like a lot of issues that she had to run across was due to the fact that she wanted to always think that she's the bigger person. Little Zach. Yeah, he's sitting over there. He about to go to sleep, bro. He about to go to sleep. He rocking on his sleep.
I am not a baby.
I didn't call you a baby.
She did.
Oh, I said little Zach. Like, Ralph said hi, Zachariah.
What about me, Dad?
Say hi to him too, Azaria.
Hi, Ralph. You can't hear me.
Yeah, he can. He can hear her.
Everybody in the
Yeah, everybody can hear you, baby girl. We all is there. But yeah, when it comes down to it, knowing when to be the bigger person and when to actually with to actually stand up for yourself are two different things. Because I'm like, I feel like sometimes the universe is trying to make sure that, okay, cool, are you going to fight for what it is that is supposed to be yours?
See, here's the deal.
What's up, bro?
What's meant for me is for me, and there's nothing that anybody can do
There's a lot of wires
to
here.
deter that. There's nothing they can do aside from taking me off the face of the earth,
Mhm.
which
We all gotta pass away at some point.
we all gotta pass away, but let's be realistic. I have made great carbon copies of both my personality and my person.
Mhm.
So even if they physically thought they got me, they're gonna turn around and see another one of me and wonder where the hell it came from.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience when we went to the bar that night.
So
I was like, why is everybody staring at us? She's like, I think it's at me. I was like, what did you do? She's like, you probably think that I'm either my mom. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then somebody walked in and it was funny because she looked at me and she's like, you feel that? I was like, yeah, we got to go.
So yeah, I realized that when I was walking into my mother's room. So I already know what it's gonna be like for other people. I just hope they didn't do anything shady or underhand, because Lord, when that comes back, that does not come back nicely. And I have watched the boomerang effect.
Boomerang.
For real, I was like, ooh, look at God, because I couldn't have done that.
Mhm.
I thought of something like that, but I wouldn't quite try to execute it. You know what I'm saying? But since he's in here getting got, let's just let him get got. Let's watch. Let's take
All
notes.
eyes on you.
Let's yeah, all eyes on you.
How you doing, Mike Moore? But yeah, I feel like that's something though, because there's a lot of times like individuals would sit there and be like, oh, karma will come around, whatever, woo, okay, whatever, it's gonna come around and get them. But I'm like, if you never fight for anything, then it's like, how do you know you're supposed to be having something? Some things are worth fighting for, you know?
I agree, some things are worth fighting for, but exactly what is the fight for?
But I'm saying, like, you remember how before I said, I was like, there's times where you have to understand when to be the bigger person and times when to just go ahead and actually fight for what it is that you feel that you deserve, feel that is rightfully yours. Because I mean, if you're always silent, then you're always going to be always a pushover. So therefore, now it causes a whole lot of
Right,
different
I
things.
could be silent, I could do the pushover thing, right?
Yes.
But if I turn around and co-clock them in the mouth, then I'm the bad person.
But however, at the same time, there are also maybe times where everybody knows that that's what needed to happen. But at the same time, they're not going to do anything because they know that that's your fight.
Why is that my fight? Because if everybody knew they deserved it, how come they didn't get it sooner?
Okay. Maybe they did get it. Maybe they did get it before, but they didn't learn their lesson. So maybe you could have been the individual to make it feel like, okay, this has happened before. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I mean, there's sometimes, like, for example, I could have stopped somebody when I was younger. Motherfucker never did the same shit again. Which, by the way, I have to ask, why is it that when you curse on somebody, it sounds like metal hitting metal? It's weird.
See,
It's their teeth and their skull.
But it's concrete. It was weird. It was weird. I was like, what the heck?
How we're made.
Anyway,
Some people are built, but it's friction. I know that for a fact.
hey, bro, keep fucking around and teach you about physics, okay?
Exactly.
What?
Whatever.
No, what is that?
Porcelain, and we're made of something pretty interesting.
Wow. You feeling better now?
Oh, I have to. Children.
Yeah.
Children.
Oh, yeah,
Say
drop
that.
kids off the pool?
No, I have to have a
no.
conversation
Look.
with them.
You know what?
I know what he's talking about. Hey, look. I never get to be messy. Let me be messy one time. Okay? I can do it with him. I can't do it with other people. So they're gonna say something I'm messing around with. Like you said, I gotta be the one talking about. So with him, it's like, okay, I can be messy, but at the same time, it's like it clicks with him. He's like, it's like, yeah, but I'm not doing anything that causes some black ink through type stuff.
Oh, wow. I can't.
But yeah. Plus, at the same time, one of the things he said earlier was, I think y'all brought up the costumes.
Say hi to Ralph.
Oh,
Yeah, say hi to Ralph. I think he's still on. I'm not sure.
what's
But he
going
was
on?
on earlier.
What's going on, Impossible? If you're still there.
Yeah, if you still here. But he came on. He was like, "Yo, blessings." He said hi to he called him Little Zach, which made me a little upset. I was like, little, exactly. We don't call you that. It's Zachariah. Stay the whole thing. It's like an Air Force 5. You gotta stay the whole thing.
Or
There you
Daniels,
go.
see Daniels,
Not like that.
see Daniels.
Anyway. Oh, I can't wait to graduate. I'm embarrassed. That's not easy.
Oh, when he graduates and they read his whole name off the card?
Well, speaking of it, she's spelling it wrong. It has an H. A-B-H.
It does have an H in it.
No, they had A-B-I. A-B-I-S-H-E-K. I was like, no, there's an H. A-B-H-I. Abhishek.
Oh, well, I thought I typed it in
It's
Yeah.
right on something.
there. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, I was like,
I mean, probably at the old school, they'll be eventually going back to the other one. By the time he goes there, they might be caught up to him.
Right?
It's a blessing and a blessing. But yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and Mr. Sigmuno, let's go ahead and do our closings.
Okay.
Now that you have dropped the kids off at the school,
Are they still floating?
You know what?
literally,
You know what? Somewhere in the sewer.
I got one more. I got one more.
I can't believe I participated.
I know, right? You said,
I
it's floating.
Mm,
Due to the fact the first thing I still floating, I'm like, it's still floating on the model business or
You know what?
I'm done.
Okay.
All right, but no, seriously. For today, I just really, I love the fact that we were able to just have a conversation how we always usually do every time we come together, and then we were able to put it out there because you never know who may actually take something from this. I mean, we had the kids speak on Zachariah spoke on his thing, and Azarias, we got to educate her on what a unicorn is. So, but I'm like, also at
I
the
didn't
same time,
know the next one.
okay, we got to talk about some real things as well. And my final question to you on that, on the original thing was, how does one prepare to be a father?
Prayer and supplication.
Thank you, Mr. Simono. God, I swear to God, y'all would just be switching. Y'all be switching like this.
Prepare to be a father.
Yeah. I know there's like no blueprint, and it's like, oh, you get that phone call, and you're like, well, time is ticking.
Immediately by diapers, stacks and stacks of diapers. Immediately by clothes. Immediately by milk. You have to be very strategic about all this stuff because this is the need, right? Then all the things that you used to do.
Make sure she don't spill the gravy.
all the things that you used to do, you might have to begin to curb some of those things so you can be around to make sure that you're there to impart wisdom when they get old enough and to be a caring father while they are developing as children and they're stretching and their head is getting bigger and they're listening, they talk and they roll around on the floor and you have them in a car seat taking them from place to place. All those things are you putting time and energy into the life of your children. But money, diapers, clothes, love,
Necessities.
those are necessities. Love, time, love,
What's up,
time.
Ashley?
All of that is important in raising children. And then listen, at a certain point, you have to listen, no matter whether you know the answer to the question or not,
Yes.
you have to listen to them talk about it because they need to begin to figure it out for themselves. And that's preteens, that's teenager, that's when they get to the age that I know everything and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do because I already know and I got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Listen. All you gonna do is listen because they will eventually come back and say,
Wait till they leave the room to laugh.
exactly, wait a minute, I guess I didn't have it figured out because it does happen. But listen, because you already know the road that they're traveling down because again, the DNA is there. You're gonna see yourself in them and they may repeat some of the same mistakes that you did. But the only thing that I caution you not to do is to say, I told you so. because that makes them, it breaks them. And I don't say it because, again, I want to be able to have that look like when they came back to you, like, oh, hey, oh, we're here. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm listening. Oh, you did. You figured it out. Okay, gotcha. All right. So what you gonna do next? And then they may let you help plan what's supposed to happen next. That's kind of the stage where I'm at with my eldest. What do you think? Oh, now you want to know what I think. Okay. But yeah, you have a ton of love, ton of time, understanding, and rinse, repeat. Yeah. Right. No, it doesn't. Not even when they're adults. Actually, when they become adults, that's when they need you the most.
I can agree to that because I'm not gonna lie. Like once I became an adult, that's when I started having those real conversations with like my mom and my aunt. Mainly because of the fact that it's like I'm in these positions to where and having someone to talk to about that who has actually gone through that, and due to the things that you have gone through when you were younger, it's like you respect their opinion a lot more.
And you're no longer in a position where it's because I said so. It's I have to talk to them now.
Yeah.
I have to have a conversation now. I have to give them some substance so they can be able to move. I mean, I think generation wise, as things progressed, and I watched and I listened to my elders. It was a different kind of time. You almost had to because there were certain devices that made sure you were listening, whether it was an extension cord or a leather weight belt. It required them to have your full attention. But yeah, the conversation begins to be different, and it's important because then they want to see you raise your children, and they may stand on the edge cringing because you're doing it differently, but eventually you'll come around and understand why they did and said what they did.
But I mean, it's still a learning moment, even for example, like with my mom, I was having a conversation with her, and I was telling her about.
Can parents truly embrace where their children's mental state is, especially when they're grown?
Woo! Can you actually? No, I mean you really.
We was going closing. Now we got
Speaking from my perspective.
Where were you at earlier, my guy? Where were you at earlier? Jesus, red.
Speaking from my perspective, I mean, look, this is where your mind has to open up, though, because if you truly want your child to be successful, then and you know the world has changed, then you.
hey, you right on time. That's the vibe time.
But if you really want them to be successful, your mind has opened as the times change. So back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, completely different times. Now this is the time where we have to realize this is technology, at the pinnacle of technology for us anyway. But our minds have to be open to understand that. But yeah, I think we're gonna have if we're not there, we're gonna have to get there. Yes. Because it's important. It's important. Because otherwise you'll be at odds with your kids. You don't want that.
Yeah, I don't think that parents can fully embrace where their children's mental state is due to the fact that as the generations go on, they're saying a lot changes. So with it, the things how you may feel in a situation that they are in may not be how they feel due to the fact that their surroundings and the things that their environment has caused them to either be softer or possibly even harder. For example, if something happens, I'm trying to think of like an example. Let's say there was like a car accident in front of me and I end up seeing somebody and I end up like saving their life, but then my son is there and he's like right there next to me while this is all going on. He might be freaking the hell out.
Yeah, it's traumatic for him.
Exactly. For me, I'm just like, okay, cool. I know exactly what I need to do. And it's just like muscle memory. For him, he's gonna be like, oh my God, blood, whatever, or whatever's going on. My daughter might be sitting there laughing hysterically. So I mean, I cannot gauge their mental state based off of what's at any point in time because they are their own individuals. they're going through their own things, and plus at the same time, I don't know what the heck they may remember from a previous life, especially how young my children are. Because I mean, they be saying things sometimes, and I'm like, where did you get that from? Like I actually have a podcast where I'm talking to my son, and he was like, yeah, aliens. I was like, who told you about aliens? He was like, well, aliens come from outer space. I was like, what do you know about outer space? He was like, we all come from outer space. I was like, what are you talking about? So I mean,
but that's why it's important to engage them when stuff like that happens. If you just let the traumatic event happen and you never engage them, and whatever's playing in their head about the situation, you'll never know. You have to know what's going on in their head. And it's like, okay, this super bad thing happened. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel. What's going on? Yeah. What's happening? What are you feeling? And when you
saying right now?
So even if it comes back to that second conversation, Dad, remember when this happened? Yeah, we talked about that. You know that you've had the conversation before. You've explained to them what happened, and you know how they felt about it.
See, and I didn't have that. I didn't have that growing up. So like things that I went through, I never really told my mom. Like my mom was learning about some of the things now, and she's like, "Yo, what the hell?" And she's like putting pieces together, and she was like, "Okay, it's making sense now." So why did you say something? Why was I, like back then? Every time I did something, I was grounded. Like, what was I gonna tell you? Hey, mom, this happened. Why the fuck were you there? Man? I'm like, no. So
it's a different parenting. It's
exactly.
a different parenting style.
My mental state at that time was, if I say something, I'm gonna get in trouble. Which, who knows? Maybe in her time frame, it would have been more of a comforting. Like, oh no, this happened. What can I do to help type deal? My mind frame was, if I say something, I'm gonna get in trouble because she's probably automatically gonna assume that I shouldn't have been there or I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing. Like, I mean, when you're growing up, it's more along as a child, it's more along the lines of getting scolded anytime that something happens. Me growing up, it was rarely you got praised for things that you did. It was more along the lines of, that's probably the reason why I think that I was a bad person. Because it was just like, I did things and it's like, I would always end up getting told, oh, why'd you do that? No, this isn't good enough type stuff. Or either, oh, why is it when every time you draw the characters look demonic, or in your poems, why does it seem like such and such? And it's like, well, fuck it. Excuse my language. I'm like, is nothing good enough? Like, what's the world?
I can relate to what you're saying because I see it differently now because
impossible. So you did.
I see it differently now because my mom.
I got work, my guy.
My mom was left with. It is. But see, my mom, she's one woman with 6 boys. I'm not saying it was impossible, but in the top of her brain, she was like, I got these boys are going to be tough, so I got to bear down on them. And that was her idea of parenting for us. Not that we actually did it, but she was checking for us, making sure we wasn't doing it. And we talking about the whoopings on credit.
Yeah, the monster got 2 on credit.
The whoopings on credit.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what's over that. Black people
They're whooping on credit just to make sure, just in case you did something wrong. This is what's getting ready to go down. But I mean, and not that she didn't want to understand, but she was so overloaded with what was going on that she knew she had to pay attention, but to what she didn't know, she couldn't feel to what extent, because she was still in pain for the loss of my dad. She was still in pain for the loss of the lack of support. She was still in pain of a lot of things, and at the same time, she was expected to function normally. That I see now, that is a problem, because you're almost not allowed to have any feelings. So if you act like that, that's the basis of you saying, I got to be a parent, and I got to toughen up, and they're gonna respect me and understand later on how much later on and how much damage is done in the meantime. At the end of the day, like I said a long time ago on one of your podcasts, the discipline I received from my mom prepared me from the beating from the Oakland Police Department. Because it was that bad. She prepared me to be that. Yeah. So when it came time to it, I just kind of let go. They did what they did. I brushed it off.
Mine wasn't that bad, but I'm like,
I brushed it off and kept pushing. But at the same time, it was like, okay, if she didn't do me how she did me, I think I would have fainted or would have died or something. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the case. And it's kind of.
I know, right?
You ain't got nothing. like a girl. But it's, I mean, but
So, sweetie, how you doing?
it's those type of things that you just don't consider. I mean, especially for his boys. 'Cause again, for the same thing for my sons, I was hoping they would be tough enough, which they are tough in a way. But when I mean, you get hit with literally everything. I mean, you got people that just don't like you for no reason, and you got people that just want to run.
They see the light in you, and it disrupts.
They just want to destroy.
You.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know, what can I do to you? You're everything I wish I could be, but I know I can't. Like,
Or
okay.
you smile all the time. Yeah. Or you smile all the time. I always like to smile.
Don't get
I'm
mad
like,
if I
man.
teach you straight and you throw up gang signs and your shit. Anyway.
It happens though. That stuff does happen. But it's like, I mean, and I knew she meant well, but then when it was happening, damn. It was like, oh yeah. But yeah, but it's, you know, again, I would have hoped that it came to a place where we had a conversation and talked about how things work, but it just didn't. And I think that's what bothers me the most, not being able to have the conversation later on. But
Conversation is overrated for the record.
okay,
You
well.
want it. You want it for real. You want it. Because I had the conversation. You know how you just beg to have this conversation. I just need to know why things are the way they are. Tell me what you really feel about the situation.
Mhm.
And when you get the truth,
You're like, damn, I should have just stayed quiet.
you be like,
Because
Why did I ask?
to anyone,
yeah, you're like,
to anyone, it's
in the
defensive.
middle of that response, you're like, God, and then some things that
Turn around like, ancestors, where were you at? Like, you should have known. Like, I should have said nothing.
It's defensive mode.
Confirmations, you're like, I knew it. And then the rest of it was like, could live all my life without knowing that.
Right. I mean, anyone who
But I mean,
raised,
at some point, I feel like that's something that you did need to know, though. Like later on down the line, you're like, okay, I see how this plays
I
out
can
now.
honestly say, having had the conversation, I think I'd have been better off having questions.
Oh,
just leaving with questions.
I,
Wow.
I don't even want to know what the heck
I would have
you
been
was going
better
through.
off having questions.
Yeah, because
It's not like asking your parents, I know you have a favorite child, who is it?
See,
I love you all the same.
But what if she skips smooth over you and said, you know?
If my mom
I'm not trying to think about it.
As much stuff as your daughter, your sister put me through, I love her the most. I'm like, that would hurt. That would hurt.
And had their own justification for why.
Yeah, I was like, hey, bro. I thought I was doing everything right. I have depression because of you, mom.
Who said that?
I think it was Rob. Who said that? Was it Lisa? Oh, wow. She
I'm
said,
like, I'm not in this. I'm not in this. Yo, sit down. She's like, well, that answer is obvious. I'm like, ooh, I ain't saying that. I'm not in this. I'm not in this. That's between you and your sister. Don't make no concoctions to take her out in the middle of the night, because we still got like at least another like 14 years. Actually, I take that back. Like another 17 years.
I think all parents want to think that they did the right
Sorry,
thing.
we're gonna have to hold on to her till she's
They
21.
want to believe that they did the right thing.
Otherwise, she's gonna be the one that passes out in the car.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, oh, this is alcohol. Why is it burn? Oh, mom ain't raised no bitch anymore.
Truth?
True,
Oh,
you're right.
truth, we had that all out.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was my prudence child, the one that I'm never drinking.
I'm never drinking. No.
My prudence just, oh Lord. She did not get the message, and it's okay. We can't call her Prudence no more.
Oh gosh.
We can.
Just please tell me that her favorite drink is not tequila.
Oh, hers. Well, no, I think
Okay,
it's Tito's for right now, or it was Tito's.
That's vodka.
It's
I
true.
was about to say, it was tequila. I'll be like, how many kids did you pop out on the conveyor belt?
She knows the Modella. Oh, she's not having kids. Mm-mm. Not even drunk will she accidentally have a kid.
Mom, I slipped and fell on a dick.
Not happening.
She's like, I don't care how hot the water is. This noodle is not getting limp. Okay?
But yeah. So
Crown
there's some
apple.
things.
She's like crown apple.
Oh, now it's pineapple.
Oh no! Now I gotta buy 2 bottles.
So yeah, I mean,
Man,
there's
you
some
can change your
things.
drink. Y'all can't. I'm gonna have to buy like a 2/5 of that. That way y'all each can have your own.
Young Beat by Erica yelled, I've upgraded.
Oh, she said, I'm sassy.
I've
She drinks with the pinky up now. She drinks with the pinky up. She's boozy. Ooh. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, we can never do this. During family game night, alcohol is involved. We can't do this.
Oh no. God forbid she when you come down, we
do
cannot
that.
do it in the family podcast. Like we can't do those.
We might have to do one out of the month.
Yeah, one a month or something. We can't do them like every week. We can be cutting up having too much fun.
The Kardashians.
I think the worst
Have you seen Independently?
Yeah, they're like, yo, you watching the family? Like, yo, they have some real conversations. They're hilarious. Hey, we're just us. And the funny part is we all are sober.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We all are sober. That's the funny part.
We can do this during the family game night.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. I'll be the designated. Yeah, no, that's not. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm gonna be the designated driver. We ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna drive.
No.
We're gonna be at the house chilling. Like
That's chilling.
I know, right? We all have our own rooms. Like we good.
Impossible already said, just know I'm not driving all the way back.
That part right there. It's like, bro, it's okay.
You're gonna have to prepare a place.
Yo, Impossible, if you still here, what do you mean, boo? I'll be, hey, look, last time you was here, we went shot for shot. Like, don't play. You know me. Like, look, don't test my gangster. We'll be sitting here talking about, no, you a bitch. Impossible said smoking shots.
There you go.
If that's the case, I gotta infuse the liquor. I infuse liquor as well, so I'll do that. All right, we can have some shots of that one. Yeah.
For the infused wine.
I haven't done wine. I've done liquor. I infuse liquor. And honestly, when you infuse the liquor, it takes the whole burn away. It goes down smooth. It's like drinking olive oil. It's crazy. Bro.
That's the dangerous thing.
It is.
Because you don't know when to stop.
Because you be sitting there and you like I swear you'll like be fighting with demons. You be sitting there having an intellectual conversation, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, fuck this. And you're like, fuck this.
You're talking about
Why
yourself.
do people even say fuck? Like, where did the word fuck come from? Like, it would be some stuff like that, bro. Flower everywhere. Back on back. What was the question? Look at that. You mentioned flower. All of a sudden, I was
We were closing.
We were
but-
we were trying to, and Impossible came in with some deep stuff.
Came with it. Yeah.
Then you had to have the daughter come through.
So yes. So
Look. Y'all want to do another indie family next week? Oh wait, no.
we can, but one of us is gonna be missing.
I gotta check the dates on that one.
It's gonna be
What is the
7th,
Sunday the 7th?
I do believe.
Oh, the 7th. I actually have a topic for that one. I'm trying to do. It's gonna be the men. What is a good husband? Or what is a husband figure? And then the next week I want to have have the women on what a husband figure is.
Impossible yelled, we don't try.
Excuses, bro. So next week I am doing. You're right. Next week, I mean we could, but next week I'm cutting the fuck up.
I'm gonna be praying for y'all. Is what I'm gonna do.
Okay, because I'm gonna have the
Because if y'all roll out and do what y'all did last time,
no,
I am going.
it's
to
just we're talking about
blow
husbands.
y'all
We're talking about husbands.
I understand you're talking about husbands.
We're talking about husbands. So
Wholeheartedly understand you're talking about
look, everybody has their own opinions, okay? Everybody has their opinions. So with that, They say,
Some of
so
y'all-
as of right now, the only husband that I have currently is me and Mr. Sigma.
Now, all I'm gonna say is this, all of y'all have opinions, but some of
I
y'all.
haven't had anybody else say
You
that.
know-
They
you
would
know
want
what?
to episode. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do closing with that right now. Yo, so September 7th, I am doing an episode of What is Husband Material? Yeah, I know you singles $1, bro. I'm talking about the old school dollar when they still had silver and when they had to work. So with it, so on September 7th, I am doing What is Husband Material? That's going to be the men's version. And then the following week, which is going to be
14.
the 14th, yeah, 7 days later. So the 14th, I'm going to do What is the Husband Material? It's going to be the women. So anybody who is watching this, I'm going to go ahead and post this on TikTok. I'm going to post it on all social medias. I want y'all to email me at Donley. What is my email? Yikes, Muslim. It's going to be Donley@divinetime.blog. And email me. Go ahead and put into the subject text, what is husband material? Guest. Or either just put guest husband material. Something with the husband material in there for the subject line. And then boom, we can set that up. I want to have at least two other men besides me and Mr. Signorino on there. And then I want to have at least 4 women for the women speaking on husband material. And then the week after that is going to be the 21st. I'm going to push it off until I can do it on the 21st. The 21st, I'm going to have 2 men and 2 women. I'm going to be hosting on that one. So if Mr. Signorino wants to come on and I have another man, or either I have 2 men and 2 women, we're going to end up discussing it and come to solutions. I do not tolerate drama. I do not tolerate toxicity. If you end up bringing that stuff, you will be booted. And then we'll end up dropping down. And if it so happens to be to where it's just me and one other person, we will continue the conversation. So, but I am a no drama individual. It's all positive vibes. You start bringing negativity, snip, snip here, snip, snip there. Or we can do like that song, cut it. But yes. Definitely reach out to me. It's going to be Donley@divinetime.blog. Let's go ahead and have a good conversation. With that, I'm going to go ahead and come to the ending before I have more people bring in some more conversations. But this right here, I enjoy this. I definitely would want to do this at least once a month. Just have the family come together and let's have conversations how we always do. Just bring it out there and interact with everybody else and the crazy things that they say. That's not even crazy. The things that they say in their opinions and also their insight into it. What do y'all think?
Yell peace, power, and love.
Respect, boss. Thank you, King. What is it? PKG. Impossible Peace King God. There we go. Peace King God. Respect. How you doing, Sandy Burger? We was actually about to go ahead and start doing our closing. I'm about to go ahead and hit that right now. So with that, I thank everybody who came through, everybody who stopped in, everybody who provided their 2 cents. I thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Signorino. Prince King God. There we go. I said Peace King God. All right, yeah, Prince King God. Respect. PKG. And with that, one more time, I got to go ahead and give a big shout out to my big boy, Mr. Impossible. So with that, we're going to go ahead and pause real quick to go ahead and give a shout out to Mr. Impossible. He's got his podcast, Talk That Crap. Check it out anywhere. He's got it on YouTube. I'm not sure if he has it anywhere else. Hey, Impossible, where all do you have the podcast? It's on YouTube. I know he's got music that's going on. I want to say he's going to end up dropping a clothing line at some point. And if he doesn't, he really needs to, because we were talking about how literally the frequencies of the different materials. So check out Talk That Crap on YouTube. Thank you. Yo, that man, if y'all looking for, I'm telling you, he's about to be a spiritual master. Keep talking a lot. He's about to be up there. I see him on Black Magic at some point. He's gonna be up there talking with Yaki Awakening, probably in Atlanta soon. Respect, King. Respect. I give it where it definitely needs to be. Because there's a lot of individuals who want to have high level conversations and they talk about stuff that should be flushed down the toilet like a hot pocket. But it is what it is. But with it, I thank everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. If y'all looking for me, this is where y'all can find me. Now with that, relax your mind. It is divine time.
Time moves slow, time moves fast. In this dance we call the past. mental health, a fragile thread, but we'll find strength. Let love spread, life's a climb. Just take a step, rise above.